Ultra and Myrtle Beach wholesaler Southern Crown Partners Incorporated know our consumers enjoy relaxing days on the water with Mick Ultra's crisp and refreshing taste in hand. It's important to remember to drink and boat responsibly. Choose to be or to designate a sober skipper before leaving the dock. Do it for your family and friends, your passengers, and everyone else on board. Michelob Ultra salutes all sober skippers who take the pledge. Cheers, and we'll see you on the water.
In Myrtle Beach, you always go at your own pace. Lie out on the sand, lie out by the pool, go boogie boarding, go surfing, walk the boardwalk, walk the marsh walk, golf at one of 90 golf courses, mini golf at one of 50 mini golf courses, fish off a pier, fish from a chartered boat, go shopping, get drinks, eat the freshest seafood. The list is exhaustive, but the experience isn't. You can go all out or do nothing at all. How you relax is up to you. There is so much to do and explore, whether you're traveling with friends, family, or just yourself. With 60 miles of beach, you're going to find your place. If this sounds like what you need, then this is where you belong.
Trilogy Outdoors.
All right, folks, here we are, Trilogy Outdoors podcast, and I'm at the Pond Road Storage Studio. And there's times when I'm driving around and I get a phone call from somebody that I need to record, and I have to run to the studio, and that's why I love being here in the new Pond Road studio. And that person would be one of our great friends of the show and our favorite bass fisherman, and that is JT Thompkins, Jordan Thompkins. And I was going to ask you about that because I noticed that Instagram, by the way, you have gone back to Jordan. Am I supposed to call you Jordan or JT? You tell me. Help me out with this
JT.
one. All right. I thought
my
so.
Instagram was still JT Thompkins, but I'm not sure.
All right. Well, one of them I thought I saw where it changed. But regardless, buddy, listen, we're proud of you. I know we had you on a couple months back and when you and Trey were in town, but we are and continue to be super proud of you. And I know you guys are up in New York, and you're actually getting some effects from Hurricane Debbie right now up there, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like 15 mile per hour staying, gusts of 35 here, and you can't even hardly see the lake, and we're staying on the lake. It's raining so hard. So, yeah, we're definitely having a lot of foul weather up here.
Well, that is a different area. I've unfortunately never been able to fish it, never gotten up there. I did get invited to go about 5 or 6 years ago with a good friend of mine for his senior trip when he graduated from high school. He fished at Carolina Forest, and I didn't get to go with him and his family, but they went up and did it yourself, went out there and figured it all out, and they caught some really nice fish. But he said a 3-pound smallmouth fights better than a 5 or 6 pound largemouth. I don't. You tell me, is that true?
Yeah, it's not even remotely close either.
Well, I saw you were, again, you have upped your game, man. I got to tell you, you're doing good. You're getting some videos out there, and I saw your game with your new. Now, are you? I mean, we can't give away your baits. We're in the middle of the tournament, but are you fishing with that? What is that thing? I mean, is it a smallmouth bait or is it going to be an anything bait that you were using?
It's like an anything finesse bait. I mean, it's a really good smallmouth. It's one of my favorite smallmouth baits actually now. And the reason why I like it is when you get up here and they're eating like really tiny crawfish, like 1 to 2 inch long, and no one really made like a really good crawfish imitator that was that small. And then finally Yamamoto came out with the covert crawl, and it's 2.5 inches, so it replicates it perfect. You throw it on a drop shot, use it as a trailer on a small finesse jig, and I really like it. And I have been throwing it here a good bit because that's what these fish are feeding on, is little crawfish.
And I love the fact that you go from, we talk about JT about his swim baits, and then you talk about JT now, he's talking about how small the baits are. And I mean, smallmouth apparently, they're called smallmouth for a reason, but they're not into that big bait thing. They're into smaller stuff, and from what I understand, you got to work to get them to bite, but when you're on them, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, like a smallmouth is hero or zero type of thing. Like, it's either you're on them or you're not. And when you're on them, it can be the best thing in the world, and when you're not, it can be the most frustrating thing in the world. And you see a lot of fish, but not all of them will bite. So Trying to find that smaller presentation that'll just get a little bit more percentage of the fish to bite is a big deal. And that's what Yamamoto is focused on this year, is coming out with different baits that, you know, cover that a little bit smaller bait, like the shad-shaped swimmer.
Yep.
That is a really good bait, and in the smallest size, I've been throwing that here as well on a drop shot along with that covert crawl, and that's been how a lot of my fish catches have come.
Well, I'm pulling up the leaderboard here. I mean, I know you're not happy with day one. I mean, you and I talked before, and I know you're not personally happy with it. But it just seems to me that when y'all get to these smallmouth fisheries, unless you get a Brian Schmidt or who has an incredible tournament, or a couple others, which, by the way, you are typically a good smallmouth fisherman in the past, correct? Yeah. I mean,
usually that's what I'm pretty good at.
That's your wheelhouse, and you love that. And I'm trying to get it pulled up. Here's the leaderboard. Here we go. So we know that the leader was a largemouth. He caught all largemouth, and that's Seth Fider. But once you get down below it, it's crazy. There was at one point in time 3 people tied for the lead, I think, or 2 or 3 tied for
3.
the 3. And it just seems to me like, I know you're not happy again, but if you have a great day tomorrow, and then I guess y'all are going to fish championship or semifinals Sunday this week, is how it'll end up. Yeah, and if you have a good day Sunday, then you can get right back in it.
Yep. Oh, for sure. That's the thing with smallmouth. The weights are always so tight, but it's kind of tough to make a comeback here because you're kind of capped out at a certain weight. Like 21 pounds is about as heavy as you can get with smallmouth for the most part.
Right.
So it is tough to get over that barrier. So it's really hard to make a big comeback. But if I can bring, 20 and a half pounds tomorrow and the next day, I could definitely make a run at the top 10.
Well, and then watching the leaderboard, and this is, one thing I didn't get to pick your and Trey's brain about enough the last time y'all were here. Watching the Angler of the Year and the Rookie of the Year leaderboard, I don't think people truly understand how one day can make a difference for the whole year, doesn't it? I mean, it makes a big difference. And making sure that you get through on every cut and getting that next day in and getting those fish weights in can make the difference. And I mean, you're right in the thick of it. You are. I mean, when it comes to Rookie of the Year, you're definitely right in it. Angler of the Year, you're back a little bit, but you're still in it. And you've got potentially 7 more fish days left, correct? Potentially? Yep, 7 days left, so 7 real good days, and you're right back in it. But, having one bad day or one day of fishing and not catching does set you back, and it makes a big difference. And people don't understand. It's winning Angler of the Year is huge. Winning Rookie of the Year is huge. You only get one chance to do that, and you've kept yourself in the ball game. I mean, has it been based on consistency? I mean, you tell me what do you think has been your key for success in staying right there on the top of that Rookie of the Year, which, by the way, between the group of rookies that y'all have, I mean, you look at how many of them are in the Angler of the Year running, and there's no slouches on there. So to be in the top 3 right now is pretty dang good. But you really stayed consistent all year.
Yeah, consistency is the hardest thing, but it's also the most important thing. Like, realistically, if you look at the points, I had only one slip up this year, and that was at St. John's, and it was such a bad slip up that it pushed me back in the points. Like, that tournament, I had a really bad first day. I only had 2 fish because I made a poor decision, and it was such good weights in that tournament. There was no chance of coming back, and I even had a big bag on day 2. I had 16 pounds, which is a pretty good bag for there, and I only jumped up like 6 spots. And that tournament, when I finished that far back, if you just take that tournament where I had 10 pounds on day 1, which I know I could have easily had if I would have made a better decision, I'd be leading the points right now by 15 or 20 points.
Yep.
And that just shows you how one decision, one day that I had off pushed me back all the way to where I'm at in the points, which is still top 10, but it's not where I wanted to be.
No.
And you just got to be on your game every single day you back in the water. And like yesterday, had a few small mistakes that I made, and didn't get to practice as much as I was hoping to. And those few things, when it comes to a smallmouth tournament where 1 pound separates 30 spots, and you're not 100%, it's easy for you to fall back a lot more than what you're planning on.
Right.
And it's just tough. It's a tough type of fishing up here where the slightest mistake can cost you everything. So.
Exactly, and you brought up a great point. Looking and you got Seth and De Palma, who both were 22 and 23, 11 each. And then you go to that 21 pounds, like you said, and you just look at what is all the 21s that are right on top of each other. I mean, it's crazy. So, I guess I'm not asking for. I'm just. This is more of an outsider looking in. So, do you? If you have a good day tomorrow, and you move up, a little bit, and you get up there close, I mean, does a JT Thompkins switch up and go try to find largemouth? Or are you sticking to your game plan, or can you answer that?
So I was really wanting to fish for largemouth when I came here, but I just never had enough time. I mean, I had 12 hours of practice, and largemouth is one of those things that you need to figure out a guaranteed 18 pounds and then go largemouth fishing.
Right.
It's kind of how you do it. And, if I didn't even have enough time to find a guarantee. I had 18 pounds, but I know I needed more. And I just was never in a state of where I was comfortable enough to go do it. And I would love to go fish for largemouth. I know where they live. I know what to go do. But it's just such a risk to go run there and, waste that time that's so crucial with smallmouth. So maybe I can go do it if I can get like a really big bag early. If I can get 20 pounds early, I'll go fish for largemouth the rest of the day with a big jig and a frog and just put it in my hand all day. But other than that, I don't see it in the cards for me when it comes to that. If I would have had more practice, I would have definitely had largemouth in my bag, and I would have definitely had it play for me. But I don't know. It's just how it goes. You can't always have the year you want to have, and that's why there's always, and everything restarts next year. So
that's right.
To getting these next 2 events done. I'm kind of in a state where pretty comfortable. All I got to do is go out there and make money and have fun. So, and that's what we're going to do the next 2 events. I'm not worried about points. I'm not really worried about anything. I'm just trying to collect 2 more checks and, get next year started and start planning for that.
And that's absolutely what I wanted to hear you say is go out there and have fun, because I know this year has been trying on you. Not just you. It's been trying on a lot of people.
Yep.
You and I were talking about the state of bass fishing where it is right now. It's just in a bad spot. And between forward-facing sonar and between jealousy. And I'm just going to throw that out there. And that's me, not JT, just for anybody that happens to listen. Mm-hmm. I'm throwing it out there like it is, and I'm calling it like it is. It's jealousy. But the fact of the matter is, you and Trey and I can go down the list. John, all of you, you didn't try to qualify for the Elite Series to go out there and not give it your all. And when I say not give it your all, I mean when there's an opportunity for you to go check a lake out and it's legal, you got that time and schedule to go do it. And so you're going to go do it. If another angler chooses not to do it, he has no right to beat these rookies up. And listen, I just called it like it is. But he has no right to beat these rookies up for honestly trying to be the best at what they're doing. And, you can make money 3 different ways out there. Well, really 2 ways. But you can make money 2 ways out there, let's say it. You can do it with your fishing rod, or you can do it with your face. I can tell you that Jordan Thompkins is not out there to do it with his face, and I'm not talking about his looks. I'm just saying that this kid loves fishing, and he's going to do everything he can to be at the top of the game. And Trey McKinney's the same way. Here's a kid who didn't even go to school because, he knew what he wanted to do. He did not go, he homeschooled and everything else. And I just think that unfortunately, that a lot of the names that we all know and love are ruining this experience for some of you guys because they're jealous and they don't have the time to go do what y'all do, and that is to do research, job research. And again, I say the same thing about forward-facing sonar. I don't care if it's live scope, live whatever. I don't care what you use, what you got on your boat. I'm a live scope man myself. But if you're not willing to use it and learn it, and you want to complain about it, well, you obviously don't want to be the best in your business, because right now it is a legal tool for you to use, and it makes a difference. And I know you believe in
Absolutely.
it. I mean, you do. Well, what do you think of? So I know you guys at some point in time, or maybe this week or next. I know Bass is having their big annual meeting, and I know there were some things that were going to be discussed. Is there any of that can be publicly discussed, or is that all still behind closed door right now?
Yeah, there hasn't really anything been said about forward-facing sonar yet when it comes to banning it or keeping it, and I really don't know. We're not going to know until after these next two events, is what they told us at the last meeting.
Yep.
So right now we don't have a good idea of what's going to happen. I think we're keeping it. I don't think we're getting rid of it, but
No.
we're not 100%. So
Yeah. And so, all right, real quick, you know what's been thrown out there? Limiting the square inch of screens. Isn't that right? One thing I heard, limiting some type of.
yes, that is going to happen.
Yeah, possible limit of square inch of screens, and then possible limit on the number of live scopes, transducers.
Yeah, I think we're allowed to have one forward-facing transducer and then one, horizontal live transducer. So that's 360 perspective mode for the horizontal, and then one, forward-facing, which is typical forward-facing sonar. And then we're allowed 60 inches of screen.
Okay, so for you, so you're gonna, because I do know you discussed with us last time about, scouting. You do like to put the thing to work and drive around and look. So you're gonna have one on the front of the boat. You're gonna have one on the back for you. How are you gonna set it up?
I really don't know yet. I haven't decided. Once the rules come out and kind of tell me how I can move them around.
Yeah.
Like if I can mount 4 on my boat, but
Right.
only use 2 at a time.
Yep.
Then I'll just swap them and have quick clips and stuff like that. But if we're only allowed to have 2 on our boat, period, then I'll probably have 2 on the front of my boat.
Hey, one thing I was thinking about the other day? What are you doing? When will you, and I know you will because you're going to get a 2025, but when will you put the JT Thompkins fishing skeeter up for sale?
Probably as soon as possible.
All right. How will you do that? Will you do, and I'm saying that for the listeners out there that might be interested in it, because I do know that you guys take really good care of your boats for the most part. Most of you do. I do know get some, they do get some mileage, and I'm talking about on the trailer. But so how would somebody find out about that when you do go to put it out there? Will you already have you got somebody already that wants it, or are you going to put it out there for the public?
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there for the public, basically, if first come, first serve, or best offer. And then, I'm going to be posting on my social media, bassboatsforsale.com, and some other places. And basically, whoever wants it, reach out, whether it be to me or bassboatsforsale.com. And I'll have pictures and videos and all that uploaded about the boat. And that's kind of how it'll be done.
Well, going back a couple weeks, or about a month now, everybody said they saw you at ICAST. I unfortunately had a canceled flight and was not able to make it, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have never made it home thanks to Delta and that crash of computers. But so tell me about ICAST this year. Did you actually get to finally enjoy it? Was it fun? I know you were busy because you had quite a few people you had to represent while you were there.
Absolutely, and I love going to ICAST every single year. You get to meet all the people in the industry, and get to know new people and make new friends. And I really enjoyed every minute of it. And then getting to know sponsors, fans, other people in the industry. It's just overall a good time. So I enjoy it.
Well, what give a shout out to a couple of your new products coming out from your sponsors. You got a couple that you can that you want to tell everybody about, or got any new rods coming?
Yeah, for sure. And we got my number one thing is Yamamoto. They came out with a lot of new baits. They came out with that covert cross talking about shad tape swimmer, Nuki bug, a new 4-inch fat Cinco, which is going to be really good just anywhere you go largemouth fishing. And then you have the depth charge from Bill Lewis. That was a super awesome bait. And there's a lot of other baits. And then also my apparel company, FXR. They have a lot of new product, a lot of new colors, and a lot of new different things that come out for.
I'm wearing one of mine right now. I should send you a picture. You know, I went crazy. I don't get the deal you probably get, but I went crazy last year when I got introduced to FXR, and it was through King Mackerel Fishing. They sponsored SKA, and they sponsored our youth angler division every tournament. The winning youth angler got a jersey that said, you know, youth champion, blah 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 blah. So I went to their website and started looking, and I like crazy colors. I do. I'm not going to lie. I like crazy, outgoing colors. And, man, I started looking. I was like, oh, my God, dude. And I just started.
Yeah, they got everything.
I started
They
clicking.
actually just came up with camo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they have, like, if people want to wear a camo sun shirt or,
Yeah.
you know, like, they have a lot of different colors. It's very, like, all the stuff they come out with is super awesome. And another thing that's really important that I think they came out with is something called the FAST system. It's actually like a floating rain suit, and you won't even know it floated if I didn't like say something. But inside the material of the rain suit, it actually has foam lined from head to toe. So if you ever are in the ocean or something, and you know it's raining and you want to wear a rain suit, I would definitely go out there and buy their new Fast rain suit. And it is probably the most important thing I've probably ever seen in the industry. So if you fall off the boat, and you know, a lot of times when you have a rain suit, it gets super heavy and you can drown. Well, this was the opposite. It'll keep you afloat, and it is, I think it's one of the most important investments when it comes to anytime you're, you know, going to be in the rain, or want to buy a rain suit. I would definitely buy that one. And it is truly probably one of my favorite new products. And then they have some of the best UPF, performance rain gear, UPF, and, you know, anything that comes in that type of stuff, in that category. Well, and they're light rain suits. Their tri-laminate light rain suits is one of my favorite things. So when it's summertime in Myrtle Beach, it's 100 degrees, you get a thunderstorm, you could throw it on, you don't even know you have it on, and it's super thin, you won't sweat to death, and I wear that more than probably anything.
You know, I will say this much. I looked at their prices, too, and when you take, and I'll say there's 4 big companies with outerwear that probably most people know about and wear. When you take and compare them all, like they're all close and in line. But I'll say this much. All of my FXR stuff, from shirts, from hats, from pants, from shorts, to boots, by the way, I love the fishing boots. They are absolutely comfortable. The shirts are high quality. I get blood on them. You know, I kill a lot of fish, unlike you. I get blood on them. It washes out. I love it. They all seem to be holding up good. So I really love it. I'm going to share the link to FXR and actually to that rain suit. I'm going to share that link in the podcast too. I'll put that in there. Make sure we got it on here. And then how about in the rods? Y'all got any new rods coming out?
Yeah, no. The company that I'm with does not have any new rods coming out. They kind of, you know, when they build something, they built it right, and they don't feel like it needs really any upgrading, and I don't disagree with them. So
bam,
they are pretty solid.
Yep, you said this. You said this last year when you and I were. We went and met at Palmetto State Armory. You talked about it and talked about the redesigns and how everybody, you know, does something different every year. Blah blah blah. Well, when you get it right, you don't have to do it again.
Yep.
I mean, that's just I love that. I know a lot of times the product change is it's not about the fish, it's about the fisherman. So, and then after sitting there and casting a couple of those rods, I mean, they are just absolutely awesome. And the price point is just so unbelievable because they are affordable for everybody. You know, you do have a great option for everybody in any price range that they want to spend, but. Man, I tell you what, though, it's been. I know it sucks you're not fishing. I know y'all hate taking a day off in the middle of a tournament. That can't be fun.
No, I mean, there's nothing we can really do here. I mean, it's pouring rain, so there's nothing. You just basically sit inside all day. So, on one hand, I'm glad I'm not out there, you know, tearing up my equipment and possibly getting hurt. But in another sense, it's, you know, kind of boring. But it is what it is. You know, it's part of the job.
Well, in listening and in closing, but in listening to yesterday, like what is the like this place? You got all kinds of options to fish up on Lake Champlain. That's where you're at, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, Plattsburgh. Is that how you say it? Plattsburgh.
Yep.
New York.
Yes, sir.
So you guys have a lot of options. What kind of run are you making? Like how far a run are you making right now?
Yeah, I'm probably only running 15 miles
Oh,
to.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I kind of like to stay close. It's where most tournaments get won. It's called the Inland Sea,
Yep.
and it's literally like it's a almost like a separate lake that's connected by a series of guts and almost canal like places, and it's like its own little section. And it seems like it has current. It has a lot deeper water than most places, and it has good variety of rock, grass, bait, and I just really like it because it has everything that you need, and it's usually a little more protected than any other areas of the lake. You can still fish if it is windy like this. Like, so it's just an overall place. It's a safe bet every single time I come here, and with the limited time I had, it was the best decision for me.
Yep, and they did mention quite a few times that tournaments have been won in that body of water that you're fishing. But
Yep,
next week is where? Where are we going next week?
St. Lawrence River.
St. Lawrence River. Now you've got a good history at St. Lawrence, correct?
I love that place. Yes.
I thought so. That makes it a lot better, doesn't it? When you go somewhere that you're happy with, does it not help you with the mindset and everything else? I mean,
Yeah, you fish with a kind of confidence that you don't get to fish with all the time. And the thing is with smallmouth, like even if you feel confident, it's still a really tough fishery to truly do good on every single time because it's like you said, the weights are so tight where 5 to 10 ounces is 30 spots or 20 spots. Like there's a 6-way tie in the standings right now, so 1 ounce is 6 spots here.
yep.
At times. So, you miss one fish that's half a pound more, and you're down 30 spots. Or if you catch a fish that weighs half a pound more, you're up 30 spots. So it seems like one fish can cause a 30 to 40 point swing, and hopefully tomorrow, if we can land one or two of the right fish, then we can jump up 20, 30 places.
Well, I think I asked you this question last time, and I'm going to ask you one more time. So we got basically 2 tournaments left, or tournament and a half. Of your rookie year, what's been your favorite part? I don't even want to talk about the other part. What's been your favorite part of the year? What's been JT Thompkins' thing that he's going to say? I'm going to tell my kids about this has been my favorite part of my rookie year.
Honestly, the number one thing is, it's always been kind of finding your people.
Yep.
And the opens, it's a lot different. So you're trying to make the elites. Everything's a little more cutthroat. But now that you're here, you can kind of find some friends that you can kind of teamwork with and work together with. And I feel like I found my team that I can talk with every single day. So finding the community that I have this year, getting to know sponsors and getting to know the people that are over your sponsorships and becoming friends with people, and kind of making your circle a little smaller is one thing I learned.
Yep.
And making sure there's quality people in it. And I feel like this year I've really narrowed down a lot and got to know the right people, and I'm pretty happy and looking forward to the future because I don't think it's only going to get better, and I'm super excited.
Well, you're a smart man. That small group of friends does limit a lot on who can stab you in the back. I'm just kidding, but that is the truth, huh?
You're not wrong.
No, that is the truth, especially in the world you're in right now. Well, man, listen, we're gonna let you enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time out this morning to chat with me. And you guys are what, an hour behind us? Is that right?
I think we're same time zone.
Oh, are you? Okay, good. All right, I didn't know that.
It's 12:30 here.
All right, good. So I'll make sure. It is 12:30 here. So, good deal. Well, I'll make sure I'm in front of the TV tomorrow, to internet or some way, shape, or form, pulling for you hard and watching that bass track. And man, we wish you the best of luck and keep that head up and positive. The fish can feel it down that end of that rod, man.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong at all.
No. All right. Well, listen, tell Trey hello, and y'all have a great rest of the tournament, my friend. Go get them.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Bye. All right, folks. JT Thompkins, Jordan Thompkins, whatever you want to call him. I call him one hell of an angler. Thank you for taking the time and sitting with me and chatting today, and hope they get some better weather tomorrow, and he gets out there and finds one of those big bags of smallmouth. But that was, again, Myrtle Beach's own JT Thompkins, Elite Series angler, 3rd place right now in Rookie of the Year. And I think he's top 10 for Angler of the Year. So really a good first year for our friend. And he's growing up a lot. I can tell from talking to him, and we're super proud of him. It's Trilogy Outdoors, and we're talking fins, fur, and feathers. Freeman Boat Works and Trilogy Outdoors are proud to announce the addition of Freeman Boat Works to our family of incredible partners. Billy Freeman and his team at Freeman Boat Works epitomize the American dream. From building the first boat in Billy's backyard to a 150,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing plant over the past 15 years, they are building one of the most sought-after boats in the U.S. and beyond. These incredible fishing platforms are built in South Carolina and are second to none in stability, speed, and performance overall. These catamaran designs are engineered not only to get you to the fish fast, but comfortably too. Years of refining designs and pioneering the modern performance fishing catamaran is why Freeman Boat Works is the #1 choice for some of the biggest names in the fishing industry. If it's long runs in the Gulf or the Carolinas, or days you can go fishing in South Florida when most center consoles stay at the dock, Freeman Boat Works is at the forefront in all categories. For more information on Freeman Boat Works and their 6 available models, visit www.freemanboatworks.com. Redefine your expectations.
Trilogy Outdoors Podcast is a product of Trilogy Outdoors Media. All views and opinions of our hosts and guests are not necessarily those of our sponsors. Trilogy Outdoors is produced and edited by Trilogy Outdoors Media. Be sure to follow us on all the podcast platforms as well as our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also don't forget our other brands, Southern English Radio Show and Walk 'Em All Outdoor Magazine. To find more information, visit TrilogyOutdoorsMedia.com. And remember, if it's anything dealing with fins, fur, and feathers, you're going to find it right here on Trilogy Outdoors.